Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hello everyone, and welcome back for another 5-minute Mechs. Today we're taking a look at the Thorn. The Thorn is the one and only BattleMech to be designed and built by Ford. While General Motors would find success with the Marauder in 2612 and Nissan would begin production of their iconic Hunchback in 2572, Ford would release their debut BattleMech in 2490 with the THE-F Thorn for the Hegemony Armed Forces. The F-Series Thorn was a lackluster light mech. At 20 tons, it had a top speed of 97 kilometers per hour, carried 2 medium lasers and an LRM-5. The F-Series was considered overloaded and poorly armed, and as it had 4 tons of armor, with its head and cockpit under-armored, it was seen as something of a tinderbox with its long-range missile ammunition mounted behind less than half a ton of armor protection. The concerns about the mech's weak head armor and LRM ammunition would be rectified in 2549 with the N model. This was achieved by redesigning the mech around a new endosteel chassis to make room for cellular ammunition storage equipment for the LRM ammunition to prevent a catastrophic explosion from completely destroying the machine, as well as the addition of a ton of armor, though no upgrades were made to enhance the speed of the Thorn. This would relegate Thorns in use of the Hegemony and later the SLDF to a light trooper role until 2743, when the Star League Royal Regiments looked to add the mech to their forces. In that year, the SLDF Royal Divisions would receive the first of the THE-N-B model Thorns. Built on the base of the N model chassis, the Royal variant would remove or replace a large percentage of that model's weapons and equipment, and convert it from a lackluster trooper into a highly mobile striker. Except for the right arm medium laser, the entire weapons and equipment payload was stripped out. In its place, a small laser was mounted in its head, and an extended range large laser would be mounted with the medium laser that was retained. The NB model would address the issue of speed through the addition of mask technology, which would allow the Thorn to achieve speeds of almost 130 kilometers per hour in short bursts. The majority of the Royal variants would leave with Kerensky during his exodus and would see service with the Star League in exile, as well as the early clans, only making a true resurgence in the Inner Sphere with the invading clans, and only then in the Toman of the Raven Alliance during the Ill Clan era. While the clans would not lose the advanced N and NB models, the Inner Sphere would find themselves having to downgrade any existing Thorns, refitting the N and F models to fight in the succession wars, as technology to repair them and maintain the advanced models would become nearly impossible to find. This would lead to the S and T models of the Thorn. The S model is functionally identical to the F. The T model Thorn, on the other hand, would remove the long-range missile launcher, replacing it with a 4-tube short-range missile launcher. While removing any long-range reach from the Thorn, it would turn it into a brutal short-range brawler for a light mech of its era. The Thorn would see 2 later upgrades, one of these being in service to Comstar and the Word of Blake in response to the clans, and would later find itself in service to the Republic of the Sphere, the N1 model. This version of the mech installed an extra light engine, not in pursuit of speed, but raw firepower. The N1 mounted double heat sinks like the NB and carries a single extended range particle projection cannon in its right arm with a small laser as a backup weapon in the head. The N2 was a Blakist design later adopted by the Republic of the Sphere, which leaned heavily into the missile payload. This model was built on the frame and engine of the N1 and carried a single ER medium laser in the head and a 7-tube multi-missile launcher in the right arm. It carried 2 tons of ammunition for the MML, but lacked the case equipment of the N model. Because of this, a strike to the short or long-range ammunition bins have the potential to outright destroy the mech instead of simply rendering it inoperable, but salvageable. Seems fitting, though, for Blakist fanatics or Republic diehards, I guess. Both the N1 and 2, in fact the majority of the Thorn models, would be little more than footnotes in the story of the Inner Sphere, along with Ford as a mech manufacturer itself. While it did see service in the Succession Wars and with the Star League, the Thorn is often looked down on as a poor man's light mech, and was often replaced whenever possible with a Wasp or Stinger due to their superior mobility. Hell, even the Locust is preferred to this thing. As far as Ford, I assume they might still have a civilian vehicle division, and if they do, at least whatever they're producing can't be as bad as the Thorn. Thank you to my patrons. At Captain, we have Sarah. Lieutenants, we have Boy in a Box and Nasty Taurus. Sergeants, BZ Archer, Steven, Faz, Housemaster Poding, and Country Fried Minis. And our cadets, Scott, Jamie, NB Kaiju, Domini, and Brother Carr. I also want to thank my channel members, Miss J. Speechly, Anonymous Only Agent, and Greg Swars. And finally, Unicorn Company's sponsor, Fortress Miniatures and Games. Check them out. They're a huge supporter of the community and the best place to get all your Battletech needs taken care of. If you want to support Unicorn Company, you can become a channel member here on YouTube or a patron at patreon.com/unicorncompany. Links to my sponsors, also Country Fried Minis and Scott's Game Room, will be in the description. Thank you all, and stay safe out there, Mech Warriors. This is Carrie, signing off.